Hi everybody and welcome. My name is Reynaldo and this is Reynamations. Oh wow. Welcome. Today we will be talking about animating in Blender. It is a 3D modeling software, but it is also being used for 2D animation, and that is my form of preference for using it. I love using it for 2D animation. I'm using a XP Pen 13-inch tablet to draw, but you guys can use whatever you desire, even do it by your with your mouse, but that is a painstaking process. Let me move closer to the screen. Usually you first have your sketch, which you would do with your soft pencil or your pencil. I have my settings set up differently than everybody else's. Then you would go with your lines, and you would do some line work with your line, with your inking of choice stylus. No, with your inking of choice brush, and then after you've done all your inking or line work, you can go on to coloring, which I prefer doing it on my fill layer. Now, when you first start Blender, it would not look like this at all. It will look different, but depending on how you set it up, it might end up looking somewhat similar to this. And I know it looks very, very complicated because there's so many things everywhere. There's so many tabs that is slightly confusing to me too sometimes when I'm working on it. But that is part of the fun. Complicated stuff makes it much more fun when you finally achieve something great with it. Like, for example, this small animation where let me hide that. See, it's very simple but also very detailed. I'm gonna show you guys how I did some of the tricks of doing this and so on. First things first, I had the line work, bring back the sketch. The sketch, you're gonna do it based upon your own timing. You could decide what's best, how many frames you want to have, and whatever you want to do. Let's say in this point, we're gonna have another kind of hand, doing a different kind of gesture. First things first, I'm gonna lock all the layers except the one that we're working on. You can also set it up like that by doing this, clicking that, and then whenever you click on whenever you do that or do this, see, by doing that, you're actually, you just gotta go onto the right one and then click it, and then everything is locked and unlocked for that one. So I'm gonna do that twice. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. And then I go onto the sketch layer. Now, if you saw that picture of a woman, I could delete that, but I'm gonna just leave it there. First things first, let's sketch out our hand. Let's have a hand kind of just flat. I want to have a hand flat, and then I want to have that hand kind of rotate and then open up kind of like this, and then maybe point up or something. Maybe here's where the thumb will be, and then everything else will be kind of down like that. So after you get some of the rough poses down, hopefully you guys can kind of see what I'm drawing. Maybe I'll bring up the opacity so you guys can kind of see it a little bit more. Yeah, better. After you get that kind of pose done, you go on to the next frame that you want to do like another pose. And based upon what you had before, which is this, I'm actually gonna animate the in between, which will be something like let's say that this one, well, let me go back. Let's say that the hand is more like that. And then it's rotating. So somewhere in the middle is gonna be kind of like this. Take away the snowflake, because if you don't take away the snowflake, what's gonna happen is that you're gonna be essentially animating in between. You want to make sure that you can see the in between layers by doing the onion skinning right here. And if it doesn't show up, it's probably because you're in a different mode right here. If you are in this mode, the wireframe mode, it's gonna look like that. If you're in this mode, it's gonna look like this. If you're in the render layer, it's not gonna show up. So just go to any of these ones and it will show up. So now that we have an in between, maybe this in between is gonna be something like that. And you know, maybe the hand is gonna be just lifting up, kind of like that. And then this finger is gonna be kind of like just about to lift up or something like that. And then this one, since they're staying down, they stay down. So it looks really sketchy and everything like that. But after you do all that line work, you're gonna basically go into the line area of it all. Click on this 3 times, I guess, and then just like that, make sure I can see this frame right here. I gotta bring the opacity down so it's not too distracting, for me at least. And then I'm just gonna do some line work. First things first, I wanna have a hand, so I'm gonna pretend like that's the palm. I did it with the wrong brush. So I'm gonna click on my ink pen. I could do this one, or I can do this one, which I like, or I could do this one right here, but change it up and do something different. Do dotted stroke. So then you see that dotted stroke towards like certain areas that I put less pressure, and then this is perfect for like trees. Like if you're drawing trees, you do it like that, and you know, the outside you kind of go rough, but the inside you kind of just do the dotted, which is like not a lot of pressure, and then you can add some extra detail. Anyways, let me delete all that, or erase it. There. By the way, when I press to erase it, it shows up right here for you guys. Eraser mode and pen mode. Essentially what it's doing is a shortcut that clicks on this, and whatever settings I have for this that I had clicked and everything is gonna be the ones that is being applied. Okay, anyways, so let's get started. I want the thumb to kind of end right here, so it'll be something like that, and that, and something like this, this, and this. Maybe make another area like that, and then just like that. Although I feel like it should be a little bit higher. Now, as you may notice, when I'm pressing erase for you in your sample, it would normally erase it. But by doing this right here, you're actually locking all the other ones so it doesn't affect it. So let's keep going with that. I feel like, personally, because the way that I work, maybe having it just solid stroke will be more than sufficient. It kind of gives it a nice look anyways. So I do that. The hand feels kind of weird. Maybe it's just me. yeah, I leave it like that. Then here I do the in between where I need to make sure that I can kind of see the onion layer, skin layer for that one, but not for anything else. And then based upon that, I'm gonna do this right here. Obviously, you gotta understand how the hand kind of folds and everything, and how the finger reacts to things. I erase some of this. It's not very detailed. This looks really crappy, to be honest with you. It is not my best work. Let me put my mic down. I've been holding my mic this whole entire time just to make sure that my voice came out really well. I hope that comes out nicely. Let me know. It is hot. I don't know where you guys might live, but it is hot where I'm at. Where I'm at. I don't like that hand. I really did not like how that hand was coming out. So I'm gonna do it like this. Sorry for all that extra noise. So do it like that. Do it like that. When you draw a hand, you gotta kind of envision it actually being a hand. But you gotta also imagine the fact that not everything's gonna be perfect. Yeah, something like that. By doing it like this and closing out that area, it gives it the illusion of it being a hand. Although I don't like how this finger is coming out. Maybe something like that. Or maybe this finger is still bending. So it's like this. And I like it in the middle bend. Yeah. Kind of like if it's doing like it's so tiny kind of fingers. And then boom, boom. Just like that. The hand is coming out nicely. I could erase this one if I wanted to, but it just, nah. Now, I know that this is going to be the final keyframe. So what I can do is I could just draw some of it and then copy it onto the next one. Or I could have this be kind of like that. And bring this like this. And hopefully I could bring it down to somewhere where it has onion skinning. I'm going to do two and bring up the opacity for it because I can't see it. Okay, that's good enough. As long as I could see what I'm working with. So basically, for the line work, it's gonna end right here, and the finger looks really thin and doesn't look natural like that. Now I just kind of do this until I get like a decent finger. Of course, it looks like it's too big, so get it to look decently proportioned. Don't want it to be not to look weird, at least too much. Make sure to add those nails. Those nails are the things that make it look more like a finger sometimes. And make sure to indicate certain parts. And just like that. Boom, boom, boom. Now we got the extreme. I'll move that one over. And then I think in between, I could do something. For this, I'm gonna hide it, and then I'm gonna bring the thumb over here. And obviously the fingers right here. That's one, that's two, and that's the hand right there. And then that like this. I want this finger to kind of look like it's getting into position even more. And for some of these things, I'm gonna press tab, sculpt mode, and then just move it so then it looks like it's proportionally correct. Draw mode. Go back. Sometimes if it has shift press, you gotta press shift again. And then I can do the drawing like I was supposed to. And just like that, we got an animation of a hand going up. And let me hide that. Hide the onion skin. And just like that. Number one. Of course, I could always just make sure to end this sooner so then you guys can kind of see what I mean. I'll end it somewhere here so then the animation looks fluid. Now the problem with this is that it's way too tight in timing. So what I will have to do is click on it, move it around, and see what timing is for every keyframe. Like, oh, excuse me. Move that one over, try somewhere there, and just like that, I got this. Am I in the right layer? Oh, that makes sense. Let's move it, end it right there. What's that? You see, now it feels a little bit more smooth. Now the problem is this hand right here is very distracting. So what I could do is I can get rid of it completely. It's simple. I'm gonna move it onto this layer right here. So I'm gonna go onto multiple strokes, select everything right here, and then go onto edit mode, select everything here, and then press M, and then move it there. And just like that, every stroke from everything from that is moved. And then I can press tab, draw mode, take away the multiple strokes because I'll need to see the onion skinning this happening right there. And just like that, you guys could see the animation that we just created. Now obviously with that kind of layering and stuff like that, it's a little bit too compact and everything because of everything that's going on. So let's figure out what is what. For the line stroke, we got a lot of frames right here. This one is a frame, this one's a frame, that one's a frame, that one is a frame, this one is not a frame. So I'm gonna delete this one. And then figure out which ones are frames and which ones are not. So just like that. Now I could have it more spread out, so it's like this, and then the motion looks like it takes less time. Let's bring it up. Yeah, that feels a little bit more natural. So something that literally takes 4 frames to make is just a hand pointing up at the sky. It is simple, effective, and if you guys want to replicate it, you can. And the same thing, 15 frames, right? In 15 frames, you can do this also. Oh, oh shoot, I completely forgot about that. I completely forgot that I had a drawing on that one, so by moving everything there, I kind of just messed up that drawing. And I can't seem to go back anymore. Whatever. Well, that's pretty much it for today's video. If you guys liked it, leave a like. If you guys did not like it, make sure to leave a dislike, and I would appreciate it if any of you guys that did or didn't like it, leave a comment down below why you didn't appreciate my video. And have a good day, have a good night, have a good evening, wherever in the hell in the world you may be. Love y'all, people. Bye. Where the heck is my music? I'm supposed to have music.